ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are doing the second session called Does God Exist? So before we get into today's session, just a quick recap of what we did yesterday. So yesterday we did this topic called Search for Happiness. So this will be a recap for those who have come, and for those who have missed it, you'll try to cover it up. So in yesterday's session we saw the common things between humans and animals and the difference. So this is a verse of the Mahabharata. Ahara nidra bhai maitunam cha samanya etat pashubir narana. This Mahabharata verse says there are 4 things common between humans and animals. What are the 4 things? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Good. Ahara nidra bhai maitunam. And what is the difference? The Mahabharata verse says, Dharmohi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. If there is no dharma in a human form of life, then a human is as good as an animal. There is no difference. And what does dharma mean? Basically, in our context, we refer to 4 things: A, B, C, D. A refers to ability for higher inquiry. So God has given us this human form of life so that we can ask deeper questions, existential questions, not superficial questions, something more deeper. What is the purpose of life? Why we are here? Who is God? Finding answers to these questions. B refers to bliss. So as humans, we can seek higher levels of bliss. C refers to choice. Animals don't have choice, but humans have choice. And D refers to determination. Once we choose something, we can be determined to continue. Like all of you all have been determined. You all came for day 2. So this determination can be there only in human form of life. So this is the common things and differences. Then we saw what stops us from being happy is problems. We have many plans to be happy, but suddenly some problems come in between. So we saw there are 2 types of problems. What are the 2 types of problems? Real problem, relative problem. Can anyone tell me what is your understanding? What is a relative problem? What is a relative problem?
It's dependent on something to be happy.
Correct. Yeah, relative happiness. Yeah. So something, your happiness that is dependent on something, some person is called relative happiness. So relative problem basically is something that may be a problem to someone, may not be a problem to others. But what is a real problem? We saw 3 points of a real problem. What are they? But those are the real problems. What are the 3 points for the real problem? First is, it is common to all. Nobody wants it, everybody gets it. And what fits into this definition is birth, old age, disease, death. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. These are the real problems, right? Definitely there are small relative problems also. We may need a job, we may need so many things, we have to address all that. But in human form of life, we are supposed to address these deeper issues, how to get rid of the cycle of birth and death, and questions like that. So we saw that these are the real problems. So now if we want real happiness, we have to address this real problems. So we ended the session with discussing that material scientific advancement, we are not against advancement. We are using technology, we are using a mic, we are using camera, we are using all this. So technology has its own role, right? But we cannot say that material advancement can solve these real problems completely. We cannot say that. Material advancement may be good. It may give certain level of comfort, certain ways you can use it, but it cannot solve the problem of death, disease, old age completely. So we ended the session with coming to this conclusion that if you want real happiness, we have to connect back with God. God is a supreme father. We are the children of God. The reason we are suffering in this world is because we have missed that connection. As soon as we connect back to God through the process of yoga, we can actually be happy. Just like a fish. If the fish needs to be happy, what the fish needs? Water. Simple. Nothing complicated. So similarly, if we want to be happy, for us we have to be in touch with God, in touch with Krishna, the Supreme Lord, then we can be permanently happy. This is what we discussed in yesterday's session. Correct? So now we will go to today's session called Does God Exist? This is also a very important session. Every session is an important session. So in today's session, we are going to discuss 5 subtopics. First, we are going to discuss proof of the existence of God. Second, we are going to discuss the definition of God. Third, we are going to see how to see God. Fourth, how to acquire knowledge about God. And fifth, we are going to see why do we need scriptures to understand God or to practice spiritual life. These are the 5 subtopics for today. How many of you all believe in God? How many of you all have full faith that God exists? ऊपर करना ऐसा आधा नहीं है. Good. So one time now there was one sadhu who came to a village, and the sadhu asked, the villagers are invited the sadhu for some katha. So sadhu asked the villagers, how many of you all have faith in God? Everyone put up their hand. So the sadhu said, if all of you all believe in God, what I have to do here? He started to walk away. So the villagers called him again. So this time again the sadhu asked them, how many of you all believe in God? This time no one put up their hand. Because last time they put up their hand, he walked away. This time no one put up their hand. So sadhu said, if all of you all are atheists, I don't want to associate with you all. And he started to walk away. The next time they called the sadhu, and the sadhu asked the same question. How many of you all believe in God? This time half of them put up their hand, half didn't put up. So sadhu said, those who have faith in God, convince the others, and he started to walk away. So the point is, sometimes we are like this. When things go perfect in our life, we have full faith in God. Hands are completely high. When things don't go the way we want, we are not sure whether God exists or not. So our faith, we may have faith in God, but how deep is that faith? How scientific is that faith? So in the first part of today's session, we are going to discuss some proofs for the existence of God. For those here who believe in God, generally why people believe in God? Any understanding? Why do people believe in God? Any thoughts? Yeah? Okay, why do you all think God exists? Probably because parents told us. The society is created like that. There are many reasons, right? So one of the reasons generally people have is desire. See, we may have a lot of desires. We may put effort also. But at some time we start to realize that our effort is not enough to achieve that desire. Isn't it? How much ever effort you put, ultimately you offer a prayer, na? Like you answer your exams very sincerely. But even after answering that, you don't know because the mood of the examiner and what is it, if there is a fight at home that has happened in his house, he may vent out that anger there. So you need some extra grace. So you pray to God to get your desires fulfilled. So generally, even in the land of India, when people go to temples, why do people go to temples?
Faith.
Faith, yeah, but is it only faith?
To ask,
That's it.
to ask.
Why do you go to temple? You have your list, desire list. है कि नहीं? You take your desire list, Baba, like now Ganesh Chaturthi is going on. Ganesha, fulfill the desires of mine. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. That's it. Love for Ganesha is little less, but love for your own desires is more. Right? So you have your own desire list. So this is the first reason people generally believe in God. Second is society pressure. Like especially in the land of India, when you're raised in a certain tradition, you just have to believe in God. You just have to go to a temple because that's the way it's been taught to us. We are not deeply convinced of it, but just the upbringing is such that the tradition is such that it just goes on. That's also a good level to work. The third is called fear of the unknown. What does fear of the unknown mean? I'll tell you. There was one devotee of us. His friend was an atheist. But he happened to become a dentist. Atheist but turned into a dentist. I mean, whatever. So he was setting up his first dental clinic. Now, to set up a dental clinic with all those equipments, it will take literally a couple of lakhs, probably a crore also, It's a lot of investment. So when the clinic was about to be opened, he called this devotee friend of his and said, please come, I'm doing a puja. I'm doing a puja to God. So this devotee friend asked him, Baba, you are an atheist. Why are you doing puja if you don't believe in God? He said, my logic is simple. I have spent lakhs of rupees on this clinic. If there is a God, I don't want to take a chance. Spend 1,000 rupees, satisfy that guy. Let him also be happy. Otherwise, he will vent out his anger on me. You understanding? So this is called fear of the unknown. You really don't know whether God exists or not. I often give this example. I did my engineering from Goa Engineering College. Engineering students generally are very cool, and the definition of cool is you don't go to temples. That is the definition of being cool and modern. So you'll never have engineering students generally go to a temple. But below our GEC campus, down is a temple of Ganesh. Just during exam time, you'll find all students going there. All students going there. And those guys sitting there selling coconuts, they know exactly when the semester exam is. Because it's big business time for them. Now, a student who generally never goes to a temple, during exam time is going to a temple. Because he understands that, Baba, whether I'm going to pass this exam or not, really depends on some higher powers. So they go and offer some coconut or whatever. This is called fear of the unknown. And then tradition, because it's going on for traditions, people generally do it. So these are generally the reasons why people believe in God. There may be deeper reasons also, but generally these are the 4-5 reasons. For those who don't believe in God, here everyone believes in God, but if you have ever come across someone who is an atheist, have you all ever come across an atheist? Someone who doesn't believe in God. So if you all ever talk to him, what are the reasons they have why they don't believe in God? Have you all ever come across? Why do people don't believe in God? Yeah, no proof of existence of God. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Second thing they will tell you is, show me God. If you can show me God, I'll believe in God. And the third thing, generally, many people who become atheists, when they see suffering in this world, they are not able to connect. They feel that How can there be a God when there is suffering around? They feel that means there is no God at all. So these are the general 2-3 reasons. So first reason is no proof of existence of God, and second is, can you show me God? So this is what we are going to answer today. For those who are atheists out there, this is what you all should answer them. They want proof. So here are proofs for the existence of God. They say that in today's world, to prove that you are born, you need a birth certificate. You are born, no one will accept that without a birth certificate. So proof is needed for everything. So God also has to prove himself that he is there, Baba. So here are certain proofs for the existence of God. Proof number 1. We have certain natural urges in our life. What is an urge? Thirst is an urge. Right? When you feel thirsty, you need water. You have to have water. So now, because we feel thirsty, is there water or not? There is water element also to quench that thirst. Similarly, there is an urge of hunger. We all feel hungry. Do we feel hungry? Right now, all you are hungry. Just tolerate for 1 hour. Then there is some good prasad for you all. Right? So we feel hungry. Because we are hungry, what is there? Food is there in nature. Correct? Similarly, the urge to worship is there. The urge to worship is there in everyone. You may say, I don't worship God. But here this guy is doing aarti to Amitabh Bachchan. Hai ki nahi? That is also worship. Right? Like I'm from South India. In our childhood, now though we don't see. In our childhood, we used to watch Rajnikant movie. And Rajnikant people are so mad in South India. As soon as Rajnikant enters the first time, in the movie, people break coconuts there only. People are literally mad. So the urge to worship is there. You may not have Krishna pictures in your house, but you will have some picture of some movie star, some film star, some cricket star. That means what? You are worshipping that person, you are adoring that person. Yes or no? So the urge to worship is there. Just like we feel thirsty, there is water. We feel hungry, there is food. Because we have an urge to worship, naturally there will be God also who can quench that urge of worship. This is proof number 1. Proof number 2. Whenever there is an invention of anything, there is an inventor. Who is the inventor of a telephone? Graham Bell. Okay. Who invented diesel engine? James Watt. Okay. Who invented telescope? Galileo. Okay. Who invented bulb? Thomas Edison. Okay. Now, here is a question for you all. Can any of these things come automatically? Can any of these things come automatically? Yes or no? No. Simple answer is, whenever there is an invention, there is an inventor. We may not have seen. Have we seen Thomas Edison, Galileo? Have we seen these guys? Not seen. But we know someone made it. Like this mobile. This mobile came by chance or someone made it? Someone. Did you see who made it? No. Not necessary to see. So this question that I didn't see who created the world, so he is not there, it's an illogical, and it is not even a scientific way of arguing a point. Because there are so many things that are invented in this world, we never know who the creator is. But it's understood that if there is a complex device, there has to be a mind that has made it. Otherwise, how it can just come like that? So in this world, nothing comes automatically. Right? When you go home and your mother, someone has made chapatis, did that chapati come automatically or someone made it? Someone made it. Even a chapati doesn't come automatically. What to speak of this world? So whenever there is a creation, a creator is implied. The word implied means you don't have to see him. It's understood that he is there. Right? And this world, to make one mobile, how much intelligence it requires? To make one laptop, how much intelligence it requires? To make this world, is it a simple world? It's a very complex world. So many systems going on parallelly, right? See, has it ever happened that the one of the planet has gone and collided with another planet? Have you ever seen in news like that? No. When people drive on cars, there's accident that happens regularly. But have we seen accident that happens on a macroscopic level, universal level? It never happens. So who's maintaining those perfect distances? If the earth goes even 1 inch closer to the sun, the whole earth will just burn away. If it goes 1 inch away, the whole earth will freeze. So who's maintaining these temperatures perfectly? So whenever there is a creation, a creator is implied. So one time, Thomas Edison, he had created a model of the universe. In school we used to do a model of the universe, sun and planets around. And he had one crank. You move that crank and the planets revolve like this. So one of his friend who was an atheist, he came and asked Edison, who made this? Edison said it came by chance. Automatically it happened. So this fellow said, how it can happen automatically? This thing, someone has made it. Please tell me who made it. Edison said, you fool. You believe that this entire universe has come by chance. You are not ready to believe that this model of the universe can come by chance. If a model can't come by chance, someone has to make it. The entire universe, how it can come by chance? Is it scientific? So whenever there is a creation, a creator is implied. So how do scientists explain creation? In school, children are taught, how does creation happen? By a big bang. Tell me one thing, anytime there is an explosion, after a bang, do you see creation or destruction? Have we ever seen creation after an explosion? Have you ever seen it? It never happens. And we are made to believe and we are made to digest this fact that this whole creation has started by a big bang. So the question is, do you believe in a creator or do you believe in a big bang? Ultimately, you have to believe one. Because when the big bang happened, were you and I present? Were any of the scientists present? No one has seen what happened that time. So that is also faith. And this is also faith. So which is more intelligent? That is what we have to decide. So how do scientists explain Big Bang? According to the theory of Big Bang, everything began from a point of infinite temperature, infinite density, infinitesimal size, a point that is physically unrealizable, mathematically indescribable, beyond all conceptions of space and time. They are played with words in such a way that you can't ask anything to them. It started with a point that cannot be described mathematically, physically. That means, Pucho mat vishwas karo. So ultimately it is a question of faith. So the question is, did everything start with a big bang or a big brain? If you see a simple rose, have you seen a painting of a rose? Does a painting of a rose come automatically? Someone has to paint it. If a painting of a rose cannot come automatically, how can we believe that the actual rose can come automatically? If someone has to make a painting, you give credit, Arey, you made this painting so well. The rose who has made it, we don't give any credit to him. We don't give any value. So the point is, creation always implies a creator. This is proof number 2. Proof number 3. Wherever there are rules, there is someone who's made those rules in place and someone who's seeing that the rules are followed. Just like you have traffic rules, right? While you drive a car, there are certain rules. Left-hand drive, you need to have license, seat belt. Someone has made the rules. Did these rules come automatically? Someone has made it. And if you break the rules, you get a fine also. SMSs come now. You may not remember when you did overspeeding, but those messages come. That means someone is maintaining the system, seeing that the rules are being followed. While you travel in train, there are certain rules, correct? Rules for traveling in train. What are the rules for traveling in train? You need to have ticket. Without ticket, you can't travel. And also depends on what ticket you have. The ticket you have to sit in that same bogie. These are certain rules. One time, there was one guy who was going to Ayodhya on a train. And he didn't have any ticket. The TC came and asked him, Baba, where is ticket? He said, no ticket. So TC asked him, where you are going? He said, I'm going to Ram Janmabhoomi. So TC told him, I'll take you to Krishna Janmabhoomi. Where was Krishna born? So he started to go to a jail because he didn't follow the rules. But jokes apart, the point is, wherever there are rules, there is someone who's made the rules. In this world, are there rules or not? Rules matlab laws. What we learn in science is the laws of God. Laws created by God. Right? We don't create laws. We are just learning those laws. Newton's laws or the law of gravity. The law of gravity was created by Newton or discovered by Newton? Discovered. He didn't create, na? Credit we give to Newton because he discovered. Who made the law of gravity? For that person, there is no credit. So this is the problem. Wherever there are laws, there is always a lawmaker. And in this world, there are so many laws. Sun rises on time, sets on time. Rises in the east, sets in the west. It's set. Has it happened ever that the sun has not come up one day? Like you have electricity cut before pre-monsoon maintenance. Has it ever happened that one message has come from God that one day please manage without sun? No sun today. Has it ever happened? Never happened. So everything is perfect in this world. Laws of physics, we have learned, refraction, reflection, and all these things. Who created these laws? Laws of mechanics. And there are so many things. Laws of electronics, electrical, and it's practically everything is laws only. Thermodynamics, and on and on. So we all learn science in school, but we are not taught in this way. We are learning science, but then people are turning into atheists. Newton said that actually if you learn science more and more deeply, you will be convinced of that there is an existence of God. Otherwise, planning to such detail is never possible. So whenever there is laws, it implies a lawmaker. This is proof number 3. Proof number 4, whenever there is organization and order, an organizer is implied. Like I give you this example of a sun. We have electricity that comes. For electricity to come in the bulb, to light the bulb, there's a whole electricity department, right? From some dam, electricity is being generated from one powerhouse to another, power station to another. It keeps coming down. And then you put your plug or your bulb and then there is current. Imagine this. The sun, the example that I gave, there's never been a time that the sun is shut off. Bulb also needs replacement, but this bulb has never needed a replacement. And it's not that bulb, one thing is replacement, the other thing is energy goes down, dheere dheere kam hota hai. But this never happens like that. The sun is perfect. The way it has always been there. So if one little bulb to light it, there is an entire department that is working day and night. The sun which is there every day, how much do we value this? How much do we appreciate God for giving us the sun? Similarly, if you study the water cycle in this world, right? We turn on the tap and there is water, right? One day there is no water, we get so irritated. But for that water to be there, there's a whole PWD department that's working round the clock to see that water comes to your place. See the water cycle in the universe. See the water cycle in the universe, right? The water in the ocean is salty. समुद्र का पानी खारा है, उसमें नमक है. Why is water in the ocean salty? Because salt acts as a preservative. Getting it? Because salt is there in the ocean, the life in the ocean is very fresh. But you and I can't drink salty water. So that sun which we spoke about, that sun evaporates water from the ocean. Not the salty water, only the fresh water is evaporated and clouds are formed. Okay. Now if the clouds rain in the ocean, there is no point. The clouds have to rain in the land. So the clouds are taken from the ocean to the land by the wind effortlessly. And the cloud goes and rains in the land fresh water. And the amazing part is, see, the cloud is like a water tank. You know, how much water is there in a cloud you can't imagine. When there's a cloud burst, an entire village can get drowned. But this water tank is so amazing. Even if an aeroplane passes through it, no leakage. Automatically it gets sealed. Hey, koi Michael Lal, any scientist can do this? Anyone can do this? Impossible. You can't do this. This is the way water cycle is. Citric acid, scientists created, but citric acid is freely available in nature in lemons. One fruity packet, there's a whole company that makes it, markets it, distributes it. This fruity is just artificial imitation of the original mango. Okay. What do you like, fruity or mango? Good. You all have understood the point. So we all like original, right? So who's made these mangoes? If a fruity someone has to make, someone makes fruity or comes automatically? Someone is making. This mango, someone is making or it's coming automatically? Someone is making it. You put a seed, the ground doesn't have taste, earth doesn't have taste, water you put tasteless, and a mango comes out that has taste, fragrance. So who's doing all this? And it's not that all fruits are mangoes. Every fruit has a different flavor. Every flower has a different flavor, right? Different color, so much variety in this world. So who's doing all this? So wherever there is an organization, there is an organizer. The fifth point is, whenever there is design, there is an intelligent designer, right? In this world, you go to the beach, not even two particles of sand are the same. They are also different. Everything in this world is different. Two leaves are different. Everything is different. Everything has its own design. Like a giraffe has its own design for a certain purpose. The camel has its own design, its own way in which it's made to live in that particular environment. So who is creating all these designs? In our own system, we have this genes, this DNA molecules. There's so much coding, so much intelligence in this DNA molecules. So who is creating all this? Who is designing all this so well? So here are 5 proofs for the existence of God. First is, because we have an urge to worship, there is God to fulfill that urge. Second is, whenever there is creation, there is a creator. Third is, law implies a lawmaker. Fourth is, organization and order. This world is it in order or chaos? This world is in chaos because of human beings, not because of God. In God's creation, there is order everywhere. Sun rises on time, sets on time, seasons. Now the seasons are going haywire because of human interference. Otherwise, the seasons are perfect. Seasons are perfect. Makar Sankranti, you know that the season is going to change. Winter is off. Now it's the spring season is going to come. So the seasons are set perfectly. So organization implies an organizer, and design implies a designer. So these are 5 proofs for the existence of God. Scientific proofs. So someone may say, okay, all these proofs are okay, but I have to see God to believe in Him. Show me God, only then I will believe. Have you all ever come across this argument? People will tell you, show me God, only then I will believe. There was one guy in America, what he would do, very, very powerful guy. He would call thousands of people to a stadium, and mass scale he would convert into atheists. He would make people into atheists. The way he would do is, he would be on a huge stage, thousands of people sitting, and he would say, I will count 100. Before I count 100, if there is a God, He should come here. Otherwise, conclusion is, there is no God. And you start his countdown. 100, 99, 98, 9, 8, 2, 1, 0. And you would say, see, there is no God. So the conclusion is, what is the conclusion? There is no God. And people will become atheists. But it's a very foolish conclusion. Now if I say, I will count 100. If Narendra Modi exists, he should come here. And I will start counting 100. Do you think Modi will come here? Oh, he will not come. So, it's not a very logical way of understanding it. It's not a logical argument. So, in order to see God, we need to have certain qualification to see Him. That's the first point. Like if you have to see Modi, why will Modi come to meet me? I have to do something great for the nation so that he comes. Isn't it? Otherwise, why is he going to waste his time to meet me? So similarly, if you want to see God, you have to do something that draws the attention of God towards you. Otherwise, why will God come to you? Understanding the point? We have to seek qualification first and then expect that God will come to give His darshan. In this world, there is a theory of cause and effect. What is the theory of cause and effect? There are many things in this world that we cannot see yet believe. Like electricity, right? We have never seen electricity. Have you seen electricity? No. But we know electricity exists. Why? Because of the effect. If the fan is moving, the light is on, that means electricity is there in that wire. You don't have to actually touch it and see whether it is there. Right? By the effect, you know it is there. It's called the theory of cause and effect. Similarly, puppet. Now, if you have seen a puppet moving, a child may think that the puppet is moving on its own. But an adult knows that someone is controlling that puppet even though I cannot see that hand. Or you may see an arrow shot somewhere. You may not have seen who has shot the arrow, but someone has shot the arrow. Similarly, in this world, what we discussed, that's 5 proofs, is the effect of the existence of God. If there is design, organization, creation, all this means this is the effect of God's presence. God is there even though I am not able to see Him. Just like I believe in electricity even though I am not able to see electricity. Getting the point? This is called the theory of cause and effect. And as I told you, if you want to actually see God, we need to qualify ourselves to see God. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, who was the founder Acharya of ISKCON, his guru was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He would make a statement, a brilliant statement. He would say, don't try to see God. Try to act in such a way that God wants to see you. Think about it. He would say, don't try to see God. You should develop certain qualifications that God wants to come and see you. Only when He comes to give His darshan, you can see Him. Otherwise, it is not possible. For that, we have to qualify ourselves. And what is that qualification? We will discuss a little later. So, till now, we saw what is the proof of existence of God, and we saw point number 3, how to see God. Now, we will get into the second point of what is the definition of God. So, before we go ahead, till now, is it clear? Anyone has any questions, any comments? Okay, can we go ahead? Okay. What then is the definition of God? So what do you all think? So we saw now proof of existence of God. So what is the definition of God? What do you all think? Who is God?
It's energy. Energy.
Okay, energy. Anything else?
Experience.
Experience. Okay. What kind of experience?
There is some supreme power.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, there is some supreme power, so we have already accepted till now that there is a God. But how will you define God? Huh?
It's in our heart.
He is in our heart.
These are God. All are God.
All are God.
We want power to find, to touch the God.
Yeah.
It's in your heart.
Yeah, God is there everywhere, correct. Okay, good. See, why I'm trying to make this point is, see, just like we go to school and we learn a lot of things now, we learn certain definitions of different aspects. Similarly, when we come to spiritual life, there is a certain way in which we are supposed to understand things. Many people their understanding is very vague, not clear understanding. So the understanding has to be very, very clear. We should have like a clear definition what we are referring to, what we are looking at. See, you go to an engineer and you ask him, Baba, can you tell me something about medicine? That engineer will tell you that I don't know. You go to a doctor and you ask him something about construction, he will tell you I don't know. But the irony in today's world is you ask anyone about God, everyone has their own understanding. Whether right or not, everyone is like very confident of what they know. So we have to understand the definition properly. So what is the definition of God? Someone may say God is light. He's Prakash, he's light. Someone may say God is nature. Nature only is God. When I go to nature, I connect to God. But generally, nature, we always call it as Prakriti. Or in English, you say Mother Nature. Do we ever say Father Nature? Or Earth? You say Mother Earth or Father Earth? Mother Earth. Mother Nature, right? So if there's a mother, there has to be a father also, right? So someone will say that you are God. See, Mataji made this point that definitely God is there in everyone's heart, but doesn't mean that everyone is God, right? So someone will say, you are God, I am God, everyone is God. Or someone will say, God is dead. God is dead and gone. There was one guy long back called Nietzsche. I think this was in French probably. French, Greece. Nietzsche, one philosopher. He wrote on the walls of all the churches. On the church walls he wrote, God is dead, and he signed Nietzsche. Nietzsche is saying, God is dead. After some years, Nietzsche died. The church people replaced names. Nietzsche is dead, sign God. So you may have a lot of these Nietzsche guys who come and say God is dead and gone. But God is always there, and such people come and go. So there was one person, he closed his eyes and he was playing Hey Ma, Hey Ma. Hey Ma matlab he's referring to Durga Mata, he's praying. And his son is also there closing his eyes and praying Hey Ma, Hey Ma. And he's thinking about Hema Malini. So both are chanting Hema, Hema, but both have different definitions of Hema. So what is the actual definition of God? So today we are going to study two definitions, precise definitions of God. These are like scriptural perfect definitions of God. The first definition is God is the supreme source, the supreme proprietor, the supreme controller, the supreme enjoyer. Who's God? Supreme source, supreme proprietor, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer. What does this mean? Supreme source means, see, all of us have come from our father. Okay? Our father has come from his father. His father has come from his father. Like you can keep tracing. When you reach a person who has not come from anyone else, that person is God. Getting the point? He is the source of everything, but he doesn't have a source. This is what it means, supreme source. Supreme proprietor means, what is proprietorship? Ownership. Are we owners of anything? We are not owners. We can't say that I own this, because today you may be there, tomorrow you're not there. We are not owners. Like two people who go on a Bombay local train, they may fight for one seat. My seat. And both of them fight and they'll get down in the station, they're fighting there. The train has gone and the seat has gone. The seat is not yours, seat is not his. Seat belongs to the government. Finish. You're fighting for property that is not yours. So we are fighting for some property. This is mine, this is yours. But nothing belongs to us. Everything belongs to God. He is the supreme proprietor of everything. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. The third point is he is the supreme controller. Like this remote you have. We are like very proud of keeping remotes and controlling. But how much can we control? Our control is very, very limited. Can we control what thought is going to come next in our mind? Do we have control? No. When we eat food, do we have control of digestion? Do we tell the enzymes, this enzyme you secrete, do this, do that? No control. We have no control of so many things in this world. Our heartbeat, are we making our heart beat? रोज ऐसा मारते हैं क्या उसको बीट करो no control, just happening automatically. So we are little controllers. We become very proud of being controllers, but we are actually very insignificant. We can't control anyone. Can husband control the wife? They can try it. Very soon they will learn their answers. Can parents control children? Yes, no. You can't control anyone. Right? We think we are controllers, but we are not controllers. We will realize that people will make us realize that we are not controllers. God is the supreme controller. And God is the supreme enjoyer. Supreme enjoyer. We all want to enjoy, but how much can we enjoy? Right? What is your favorite sweet? आप लोगों का favorite sweet क्या है? मधी आपका favorite sweet क्या है? हाँ? रसमलाई. ठीक है. मधी का favorite sweet रसमलाई है. Now if I give you 500 rasmalais, will you be able to eat it? No. We have a desire. इच्छा होगा खाने के लिए, पर कितना खा पाएंगे? How much we can enjoy? You eat it too much, you will land in hospital. Right? You will have to admit. The point is, we want to enjoy, but we cannot enjoy. We are very, very limited. God is the supreme enjoyer. So this is definition 1. What is definition 1? Supreme source, supreme controller, supreme proprietor, supreme enjoyer. Okay? And then definition 2 is, see in Sanskrit or Hindi, what is God referred to as Bhagavan? Is that God matlab? Bhagavan. What does Bhagavan mean? Like when you say Dhanvan, what does Dhanvan mean? जिसके पास बहुत पैसा है वो धनवान. या ज्ञानवान, one who is very knowledgeable is called ज्ञानवान. Similarly, what does Bhagavan mean? Bhaga means opulences. Van means possessor. God means one who has 6 things in full. He is God. The first opulence of God is wealth. Who is God? God is the wealthiest. Not little wealth, He is the wealthiest. All wealth belongs to Him. First opulence. Second is, God is the strongest. There can be no one more stronger than Him. The third is, God is the most beautiful. The fourth is, God is the most knowledgeable. Fifth is, He is the most famous. And the sixth is, He is the most renounced. In this world, you may have someone who is very wealthy, but he may not be beautiful. Like Mukesh Ambani, very wealthy, but is he beautiful? Someone may think, not very beautiful. Or you may have someone who is very beautiful, but ऊपर का खाली department, दिमाग नहीं है. Or you may have someone like Einstein. Einstein is very knowledgeable, but is Einstein beautiful? Not beautiful. So ये दुनिया में someone may be wealthy, but he may not have strength. Someone may be very strong, he doesn't have knowledge. You will never find one person who has all the 6 things in full. कहीं मिलेगा नहीं. ऐसा combination impossible है. This combination is only there in God. So basically, there are 2 definitions of God. The source of all sources, supreme source, supreme controller, supreme proprietor, supreme enjoyer. And second definition is Bhagavan, one who has 6 opulences in full. Who fits into this definition? We will do a different session on it. Okay? So till now we discussed proof of existence of God, definition of God, how to see God. So 2 more very important points left for the discussion today. How to acquire knowledge about God and why to put faith in scriptures. So is there any questions? Any clarifications needed till here? Anyone has any questions? Any comments? Can we continue? So, how to acquire knowledge about God? So now we have seen proof of existence of God. We have given you definition of God. Now, if I want to know more about who is this God, how can I know about God? Generally, there are three ways in which we gain knowledge. Three systems of gaining knowledge. The first is called Pratyaksha Praman. The second is called Anuman Praman. And the third is called Shabda Praman. I'll explain what these three things are. The first is Pratyaksha. Aksha refers to eyes, yes, senses. Pratyaksha means what is perceived through the senses. People who have this philosophy of seeing is believing. When people say, show me God, only I will believe. That means they are in the category of Pratyaksha Praman. They believe what they see. But there are many things in this world which we see yet don't believe. And there are many things in this world we don't see yet believe. Like, I'll give you an example. We have all studied refraction in school. No? You put a straw in a glass of, in a glass bottle that has water in it. What do we see? We see that the straw is bent. But is it bent? It's not bent. When we see the sun, how does the sun look? Very small. Is the sun so small? You can cover it with a small coin. But is the sun small? No. When we look at a train track, how do you see it? You see it merging. But does it actually merge? No. When you see sunset in the ocean, how do you see it? The sun is entering into the ocean. But do we believe it? We don't believe it. So there are many things that we see yet don't believe. Like a convex, concave mirror. What you see, you don't believe. Why? Because the problem with Pratyaksha Praman, gaining knowledge of God, about God through our senses, why is it incomplete or problematic? Is because our senses have 4 defects. What are the 4 defects of the senses? The first defect is our senses are imperfect. Second is our senses tend to be illusioned. Third is we commit mistakes. And fourth is cheating propensity. I will explain these things. Like all our senses are imperfect. We all have learned this in science, that our eyes have a certain range in which we can see, right? 400 to 700 millimicron. This is the range of our eyes, right? Violet to red basically. We can't see ultraviolet, we can't see infrared. Ears also have a certain range, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Above this, below this, above this, we cannot hear. The tongue also has a limitation, basically imperfection. When we taste something sweet and then you drink tea, coffee, that sweetness is not there because there is an imperfection of the tongue. Similarly, sense of touch has its own limitations, right? You touch something warm and then you put your hand in normal water, the normal water starts to feel cold, right? So all our senses are imperfect. So now with our imperfect senses, how can we gain perfect knowledge about God? It's very, very difficult. Not only our senses are imperfect, we have a tendency to be illusioned. I'll give you some tendencies of illusion. What can you see here? What can you see here? Triangle. But actually there is no triangle. This is an illusion. We are seeing a triangle. There is no triangle here at all. What can you see here?
Faces of people.
You can see 2 faces. You can see someone playing a guitar, someone holding a pot on his head. You can see too many things in this place. What can you see here? But it's actually not moving. So these are illusions of only eyes. Similarly, there is illusion for each sense. Like if someone is staying close to a railway station, he is hearing that train passing so much, Even when the train is not passing, something is happening in his ears. It's called the ear is ringing basically. Or if you're like mobile is constantly ringing, even when the mobile is not ringing, you feel it's ringing. Right? So every sense of us has a tendency to be illusion. First is imperfection. Because of imperfection, there is illusion. And because of illusion, we commit mistakes. Getting the point? Scientists, do they commit mistakes or not? They commit mistakes. Previously, 100 years ago, they used to think that earth is flat. When people would sail, they would tell Baba, don't sail too much, you will fall down. Right? They would think that the earth is flat. Very recently, they understood that the earth is round. So, they have a lot of mistakes that the scientists commit. And because the scientists commit mistakes, but they don't want to accept the mistakes, what they will do? Fourth thing, cheat. Cheating propensity. Like, in a school, we have all learned Darwin's theory. Okay? Darwin's theory says that we have all come from monkeys. Right? So, he says that we have all come from monkeys, they gradually evolved. So the question was, if a human being has come from monkeys, there should be some species that is half human, half monkey. Where is that species? That missing link. Where is that missing link? So finally in 1912, they found out a missing link. A skull of a half man, half monkey type person somewhere. And in 1953, they discovered that that skull that they found out was man-made skull. ऐसा कुछ filing करके वो बनाया. It was a fraud basically. So these are four things. First is our senses have a tendency. We have imperfect senses. Therefore we become illusioned. Because we become illusioned, we commit mistakes. And because we commit mistakes, we cheat, we tell lies, and we try to cover up that mistakes. So the point is, gaining knowledge through the senses, the concept of seeing is believing, is not a perfect way to gain knowledge about God. The second way of gaining knowledge is called Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman basically means guesswork, hypothesizing something. Like Darwin's theory is basically Anuman Praman. See, Darwin, if you study the life of Darwin, he was actually a follower of church. He was a believer in God. But what happened was, one of his younger child, he probably his daughter, went through a disease, very rare kind of disease, where a young child develops symptoms of old age. I think it's called progeria, a very rare kind of disease. Hair becomes white, teeth start to fall off, and the child dies. So Darwin's child died. So Darwin lost faith in God. I was doing so much for God, working for the church, and this is what God did to me. He became an atheist. So then he goes to an island, and there he sees different animals and he writes his own theory. See, Darwin's theory is called a theory. What does theory mean? Theory means it's an hypothesis, not proved. There's no way you can prove it, just an hypothesis. So in his whole book, Darwin wrote a book called Origins of Life. In this book, what words he uses is perhaps, maybe. That means what? He himself is not sure. He himself is not sure. Because who has he seen a monkey becoming a human being? Has he ever seen it? No one has ever seen it. So this was his understanding, that a deer was eating grass and deer pulled its neck a little more and became a giraffe. This was his understanding. So he wrote his own book, and scientists are doing PhD on his book. Darwin only was not confident of his theory, and people are doing PhD on Darwin's Origins of Life. Like a simple example, if there are 6 blind people who have never seen anything in life, born blind, never seen an elephant. So one blind guy will go and catch the trunk of the elephant and he will say elephant is like a snake. One guy will catch the tail of the elephant and say elephant is like a rope. Right? Blind people who have never seen an elephant, how they will understand an elephant? Only someone who has eyes, who can explain to them, only they will understand. Otherwise, just guesswork is not enough. So even Anuman Praman, guessing, Like you ask someone who is God, what they will tell you, maybe God is this, maybe God is this. That means what? Not sure, not sure. So when you say maybe, perhaps, shayad, that means it is your thinking. It is your thinking, may be correct, may be wrong also. So it is not the perfect way to understand. Like you go to, if you have a disease and you go to a doctor and you ask the doctor, what should I do? Doctor will tell you, maybe you should take this injection. You will say, Baba, what does maybe mean? You tell me, should I take or not? I don't know. Maybe you should take it. How will you take it? When you go to a doctor, you expect proper diagnosis. So you have the proper system in which you follow. Right? So similarly, in life, the best way to gain knowledge is called Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman means word of authority. Just like, giving an example of a doctor. Which doctor you will take treatment from? Any doctor who has studied from a proper school, college, who has a degree in hand, who has experience of doing operations, treating, only from such a doctor you will take. So you go to someone and say, if that person tells you, I will treat you, and you ask him from where you have learned, he'll say, no, just like that. सीख गया मैं, देख देख के सीख गया. How will you take treatment from him? कैसे treatment लेंगे उससे? So in order to trust someone, that person should have learned it through a proper channel. Otherwise कैसे विश्वास करेंगे? Similarly, to understand about God, the best way to learn is called Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman means word of authority. I'll tell you an example. Like you go to a court and the judge says, put this guy in prison. When the judge says that, it has to be followed. That guy will put in prison. Now if I say sitting here, put this person in prison, is my word any value? No. Why? Because I am not authority in judgments. Judge is an authority. So similarly, when it comes to God, when it comes to aspects about spiritual life, you have to learn from an authority. Someone who has learned it through a proper channel. If you learn from here and there, इधर से उधर से, थोड़ा टीवी देख लिया, थोड़ा ये कर लिया, then the knowledge is not perfect. So therefore, the best way to learn about God is through scriptures. शास्त्र पढ़ के ही भगवान के बारे में ज्ञान आ सकता है. अगर कोई बोलेगा, someone says, I think God is this, you think God is this, then that is not correct. What is important is not what you think, what I think, what is written in scriptures. That is what is important. So Shastra Praman hai. Books are the basis. Even when a judge gives judgment, does he give judgment on his own? He refers to books. There are court books that he refers to, he gives judgment. When you go to a doctor, does the doctor give prescription on his own? There are books he refers to. So everything has certain standard books. Law books, court books, political books. There are books for everything. So similarly, when you want to acquire knowledge about God, you have to learn scriptures properly. Only through scriptures you will be able to understand knowledge about God. So till now we saw 4 points: proof of existence of God, definition of God, how to see God, how to acquire knowledge about God, and final, the 5th small section but an important section, why to put faith in scriptures. So we have been speaking about Shastra, scriptures. So the question may come, why to put faith in scripture? मैं तो scientific आदमी हूँ, I'm a scientific guy. I believe in facts. Faith हम विश्वास नहीं करते, fact बोलो हम विश्वास करेंगे. But the understanding is, in life now, in every aspect of life we need faith. I'll give an example. When you go to a barber, you have faith or not? ये आँख बंद करके लोग सो भी जाते हैं वहाँ पे. बाबा वो ब्लेड लेके क्या कर सकता है, ऐसा करके ऐसा भी कर सकता है, कुछ भी कर सकता है, बट फेथ रहता है ना. When you go to a hospital for surgery, विश्वास चाहिए कि नहीं? फेथ चाहिए. आपको तो अनकॉन्शियस डाल देते हैं, यू आर पुट इन टू अनकॉन्शियस स्टेट, रिलेटिव्स आर आउटसाइड, no camera on. What doctors can do, anything can happen. Right? They could do anything. But if you don't have faith, then nothing will happen. When you travel, है कि नहीं? Have you ever checked pilot's license? ड्राइवर का लाइसेंस चेक किया है क्या? बस में जब बैठते हैं ड्राइवर का अल्कोहल टेस्ट करते हैं क्या? पिया है कि नहीं? ठीक ठाक है क्या? Do we do all these things? We have faith. So in so many things in life we put faith. But when you tell people, Baba, put faith in scriptures, people will say, why faith? I'm a scientific guy. Then why do you put faith in so many other things? You put faith in science also, na? You put faith in scientists also. That is also faith. So there is a difference between blind faith and reasonable faith. Like when you go to a doctor, can you tell the doctor, are you 100% sure? Give me guarantee your medicine will work, then only I will take. The doctor will tell you, first take, have faith, take my medicine, it will work. So for result to come, faith has to be first, then result. After result, faith doesn't come. You need to have faith, follow the process, then a result. Similarly, when we come to spiritual life, we use our reasoning so that we have reasonable faith and then invest that faith. So faith is an integral part of life. So as I told you, just 1 minute. Just a minute, I just need to go 2 slides back. Yeah. So scriptures explain to us, like if a child wants to know who her father is, there are 2 ways to do it. One is the child will decide, let me do genetic testing of all males and find out whose genes match. It may take a long time, years may go, and the child may never know who the father is at all. Simplest way is go and ask the mother. है कि नहीं? Simple है. इतना घूमने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Just go and ask the mother. So similarly, scriptures are like a mother. God is our father. If you want to know who our father is, what we have to do? Read scriptures. Scriptures will tell you who the father is. To give you another example, just like you have a mobile, with the mobile there is an instruction manual. What are scriptures? Scriptures are like an instruction manual. Just like with the mobile you get an instruction manual, how to use the mobile, how not to use the mobile, like that. So similarly, how to use this human form of life? What is the purpose of life? Why is this world created? Along with the creation, there is creation of Vedas and scriptures. So scriptures will tell us what is the purpose of life. And in scriptures, why to put faith in scriptures? Because in scriptures, there are certain things that will never change. Like in the land of India, gobar or cow dung has always been considered pure. When British came to India, and when they went to the Indian villages matlab cow dung. Like recently I was like 9 days out traveling different places in Bengal. You go to any Indian village, you will see cow dung everywhere. The British people thought, what kind of guys? They are like using cow dung. British guys thought that these people are backward, useless guys, uneducated guys. They thought that they will make these people civilized. Now the same Britishers are using cow dung. Right? Now they have understood the value of cow dung. Cow dung is antiseptic, the most powerful substance that can ever be in all levels. Similarly, I told you scientists have recently discovered that the earth is round. But in our Shastra, earth has always been round. Like Varaha Avatar. Have you seen Varaha Avatar? Have you all seen this latest movie, Mahavatar Narasimha? So there they show Varaha Avatar. How is Dharti showed there? Round. When did Varahadev come? Way back in Satyuga. So scientists like 100 years ago, they understood the fact that earth is round. But in the scriptures, we always knew that the earth is round. Geography in Hindi or Sanskrit is called Bhugol Shastra. It was understood that the earth is round. It has always been mentioned in scriptures. But recently the scientists have realized it, accepted it. Plants have life. Scriptures always say this. Scientists recently have understood that plants have life. What happens inside the womb of a mother, human embryology? When was sonography discovered? Might be like 100 years ago, maximum, not even that much. Before that, scientists had no clue what is happening inside a mother's womb. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is written 5000 years ago, if you read, there is entire understanding, day 1, day 2, day 3, what happens with an embryo, which part comes first, how eyes come, how nose is formed, everything is explained in detail. When was Bhagavatam was written? 5000 years ago. So our scriptures and our saints are like far more advanced than the scientists of today. Technology, Viman or fighting, whatever weapons, far more higher. Ayurveda, it is a scripture that has been there for a long time, for a very long time. So in all levels, not only spiritual level, in all levels, our technology has been far more superior because our technology is based on Vedas or the scriptures. Like if you go to South Indian temples, you will find such huge, temples, such big blocks of stone kept on top. How do you think they did this? No crane, nothing. How did they do this? Some other technology completely. And if you go in some places, you will find smaller bricks down, bigger bricks on top. Right? So the technology is completely different because it was based on the scriptures. Like in Bhagavatam, you have a lot of predictions given. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the avatar of Krishna who came 500 years ago. Mahaprabhu is predicted 5000 years ago in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. Lord Buddha appeared around 2500 years ago. But Buddha is mentioned in Bhagavatam 5000 years ago. Chanakya, who appeared recently, is mentioned there in Bhagavatam. King Ashoka is mentioned in Bhagavatam. The mention of Jesus Christ in Bhavishya Puran, Muhammad Prophet, and like that. So basically, why do we put faith in scriptures? Because scriptures are like an instruction manual. Scriptures, there are a lot of predictions in scriptures and a lot of historical facts that never change. So scriptures, like I told you, scientists always keep changing. They will say that we made a mistake, this is what the new thing is. But you will never find a mistake in scripture. When was Gita spoken? 5000 years ago. It is not that Krishna will come and say, sorry, I made a mistake there. This is my new edition of Gita. I have corrected it. Never corrected. It's always the same. Gita is always the same. Ramayana is always the same. The Vedas are always the same. Made millions of years ago. Still relevant now. Why? Because it is not made by a human being. Human being means he will make an error. Human means error. To err is human. Because scriptures is given by God, it is called apurusheya. It is not made by any human. Therefore, it is free of error. There is no mistake there. It is absolute. So if you want to know about God, the only way is through the scriptures. So in today's session, we saw proof of existence of God. We saw the definition of God. How to see God? We saw 2 points. Cause and effect. And only through service we can, or through developing qualification, we can see God. How to acquire knowledge about God? We saw 3 ways. Pratyaksha, Anuman, Shabda. Pratyaksha Praman, knowledge through the senses or guesswork. Shabda means word of authority. Of all the 3, which is the best? Shabda. Shabda means scriptures, Shastra. And why to put faith in scriptures? We saw certain points. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone has any questions, any comments in today's session? Okay. So no questions means I take it that all of you have understood, accepted. ठीक है? So we ended a little early than expected. So tomorrow we'll meet. We are going to do a very important topic tomorrow called Who Am I? Or also we are going to discuss in that same topic we are going to discuss about death, afterlife and all these things. Very interesting topic for tomorrow also. Okay? So if there are no questions, yeah.
I was just hearing a podcast, and that they have just expanded that word Bhagavan. Like God is unique, God is Gagan, Y is Vayu, and now is nothing. So basically the nature.
Yeah, I mean, people may do a lot of podcasts. It's a free world, everyone can do. But the point is, yeah, that's also correct. But the point is, what does the scripture say? So everyone may have their own definitions, which may sound good, but you have to see what is there in the scripture. So what definition I gave you was from a scripture. We know Vyasdev. Vyasdev is the one who's written the Vedas. The father of Vyasdev is called Parashar Muni. So Parashar Muni gives this verse: Aishwaryasya samagrasya Viryasya yashasha shriya Jnana vairagayaschaiva sananbhaga itingana. This is a definition. So this verse gives a definition. God, Bhagavan means one who has 6 things in full. Aishwaryasya samagrasya Viryasya yashasha shriya Jnana vairagayaschaiva sananbhaga itingana. 6 things means Aishwarya is wealth, Shriya is beauty, Gyan is knowledge, Vairagya is renunciation, Yasha is fame, and Shakti basically. So it has to be like standard definitions from scriptures. So that's the point. So you may have a lot of people saying so many things, but then the point is what's there in the scripture. Like you go to a court, you can't argue just like that. A lawyer has to give references, he has to cite references. That in this book, this is what is mentioned, this is the law, this is a case that a judgment was given in a Supreme Court like this, he has to cite. So similarly, when you come to an understanding of God, you have to, if you have certain definition, you have to confirm that definition with a scriptural reference, then only it makes sense. So that's the point. Thank you for that question. Anyone else has any other questions? Yes. Yes.
I thought I did not get it. Or did you say it and I did?
What are the qualification? Yeah, that we will discuss in the last session, day 6. If we tell you everything today, you will not come for the last session. We will do that in day 6. Anything else? So now that we have some time, can we do 5 minutes kirtan and then we'll have the sir? Let me try to call Gopal. So